Munich, Germany. A modern European city in the heart of Bavaria. Subways and Gothic architecture, big business and beer gardens. And for 3 days in May 2007, CDNLive EMEA from Cadence Design Systems. CDNLive is an ongoing dialogue between the creators and users of Cadence technology. Addressing the needs of the Cadence Designer Network, CDNLive offers access to Cadence executives and technologists, technical papers, symposia, a designer expo, and peer-to-peer contact, in this case with an emphasis on the EMEA geography. For most attendees, this opportunity for direct personal contact, establishing and strengthening business relationships, is a key to the success of the conference.
It's all about meeting people, networking, seeing also challenges of other companies, and to learn from each other.
Value is to get in contact with some executives, with some people that lead the company, so we can discuss what challenges we have, what Cadence should develop to help us to make products happen, and especially to meet other people from the same industry, what their problems are, discuss what their problems are, what their current opinions are.
As an executive, it's great to be able to see the wide range from people that are down working with the tools, trying to make things, some of the most complex chips in the world come to life, being able to talk to them directly about what works, what doesn't work, all the way up through the management chains to the highest executive levels, where we get an opportunity to actually understand from a business perspective just exactly what is motivating and driving these businesses.
We have the ability to connect together a significant number of our customer executives, and it just opens up the conversation. So we're able to get to a much deeper level of understanding in terms of our ability to help them. It helps to develop mutual respect and trust. You get a different type of discussion across the dinner table with a glass of wine in your hand.
Where you have an opportunity to network with companies who have similar interests as yours, companies who are part of the value chain, just to create corporations and synergies.
And perhaps more importantly, they get a chance to see us, and they get to hear the Cadence message about what we're doing, what we're investing in, both now as well as in the future.
It's really a user-driven event for the rest of the users. Cadence providing a lot of the framework, and obviously us getting a lot of great feedback directly from our customers. And some of that is really evidenced in the fact that we had over 30% increase year on year in attendance for CDNLive EMEA.
We value the networking as much as anything, and the world, sometimes in technology, I think we forget, the world is all about relationships. CDNLive offers a constancy for us to network, build those relationships, continue to nurture them over time. It's augmenting some of the stuff that we might do, and then sometimes there's new relationships, and this time we had some new relationships formed. So it is really quite consistent with what we wanted to do.
CDNLive is an opportunity for Cadence to make a splash with product announcements, both to the press in attendance and to conference participants. This year, Cadence unveiled 3 new advances in the product line.
Last year we announced the Virtuoso 6.1 platform, and today we augmented that announcement with talking about the MMSIM 6.2 product family. So at CDNLive EMEA, one of the key messages that Mike Pfister delivered in his keynote was that our customers really need end-to-end solutions. And when we look at this from a Virtuoso simulation perspective, by having a common infrastructure and having the ability to have all of our products tie into it, our customers can look at their problem from an end-to-end flow, starting with block level design all the way to full chip verification through the simulation capability. And we really address their overall needs of meeting the time to market goals and managing risk.
The new Cadence low power methodology kit is the latest in the range of kits that Cadence has announced. Previous kits have been analog mixed signal, RF SIP, and ARM functional verification. With the low power methodology kit, we're introducing a kit targeted at digital implementation in general, but also very specifically at the problem of low power, and helping customers who haven't had to deal with low power before adopt the technologies that they need to be successful. One of the challenges that people face when adopting low power is if you apply traditional tools and methods, what happens is you can imagine the cost of a project and the risk of a project goes up significantly. What's worse is what you can achieve in that project with a team that has done this many times before versus a new team or a team that's only done it once or twice is very different. And you can think of this as an efficacy gap between what those two teams can achieve. And so what the kit is aiming at doing is it's aiming at bringing those new users or the users that have only done low power a few times closer towards what the experts can do.
Today we announced the Allegro 16.0 release of our PCB design solution. And this was an extremely significant release for Cadence. We haven't had a PCB release with this much new capability and technology and enhancements in over 6 years. Customers are confronted with more complex designs, higher speed signaling, lower power requirements, increased challenges around density. And because of that, we've really had to look at the solution in a more complete fashion and introduce a lot of new technology that helps them solve these problems.
With Munich as the backdrop, the focus of this CDNLive event was the Europe, Middle East, Africa geography, an area that presents unique challenges and opportunities to the Cadence Designer Network.
EMEA is actually a very, very interesting region from a global perspective. I think for many years, some would argue that some of the foundational companies in semiconductor grew up in Europe. Some of the very earliest work in circuits and design techniques came out of Europe.
The natural inclination of talented students to become engineers is a little bit under pressure in Europe. So it is not easy to get the technical talent that you need to have for these type of very complex integrated projects. So the linking up of the industry and the universities is aimed to raising the profile of the type of activities that we have in the industrial and the high-tech industrial community here in Europe. I think that's paying off.
There's been really a renaissance both on the semiconductor side and more importantly on the systems side. And I think they've developed an incredibly interesting competency with respect to system design, perhaps led by companies like Nokia and Ericsson in the telecommunications space. But automotive has also had a strong resurgence.
What's interesting here is that the opportunity for system level design, for verification, is very prominent. And so that's kind of the one element of the tailoring. It also tailors to vertical. There's a very vibrant connection with the automotive market here, as an example.
So we are very focused on the automotive market because this is a very strong market here, especially also in Germany. All that comes within the automotive segment. So in the automotive segment you need long-term availability, a certain quality standard you have to fulfill that is demanded by the automotive industry.
In EMEA there's a real focus not to look at the niche in the market, because when you look at our customers, they really do focus and execute in many focused niche areas. But it's not to look at the niche in the market, it's to look at the market in the niche.
It is important for us to be where our customers are. So we've got a great customer base in Europe. Typically we have a lot higher percentage of system companies attending, which drives very different dynamics and gives us feedback into very different product lines than maybe some of the other regions.
EMEA is interesting in that it is kind of like the general on the field. Maybe all the pieces aren't in Europe itself, but much of the activity in terms of specification of the larger systems, what is necessary, how those integrate together, and the constraints whereby they need to be integrated together is being derived from work that's being done here. So it's a really, really hot place to be, and making sure that you understand the trends here, because there'll definitely be requirements later on down the line.
That does it for this look back at CDNLive EMEA in Munich. CDNLive moves on to Tokyo, Japan, July 12th, before going to Shanghai, China, Silicon Valley in California, Bangalore, Tel Aviv, and Hsinchu, Taiwan. For more information, go to www.cadence.com.